Okay, so my name is Andrew. I'm a low voltage professional. I've been inside the business now for about 7 years now, and this is to kind of address a couple things that have gone on inside of a video that I will show up here. The first thing was that the gentleman was asking whether or not he wasn't asking. He was attempting to figure out the best way to strip Cat 6 and straighten everything out. There's a couple ways to do it, but the quick and dirty method is to use your fingers. So take. So what you want to do is you want to strip that jacket off, and take your centerpiece, cut that, and then what you'll do is you'll take each individual pair, and you can kind of see how they're oriented inside of here, to where you want them to be fanned out from each other inside of a different direction, inside the direction that they're predominant to, based on how your cable is set up. Then what you'll do is you'll untwist, and to get them, this is the quick and dirty method of doing it, is you want to take and pin it between your thumb and your finger, and you'll kind of arch it. You'll kind of arch it like that to pull it out straight, and then you can just lob back the tail. And is that straight? Perfectly straight? No, it's not, but it's going to be perfectly fine. So, reason being is that, let's get all of these undone, because the other thing you can do is you can take it and kind of twist yourself back and forth like this, and it'll also do about the same thing. Let's see, and fix those so they go even. Apologies about the little bit of sniffling. I have some allergies going on. And do this and this, so that way they're all set up. Outside to outside like that, inside their own position, and then you can start from your orange and work your way across. So orange, white, orange. I'll get up to the camera so y'all can see this. Orange, white, orange, green, white. Then your blue pair you can just kind of shunt over. Together, green, and there you go. Now, is that straight? No, it's not. You know what you do with it now? You grab the entire thing, in most your thumb, so that way you have it all right like this, and you pull out the same way we did before, and make sure that you kind of wiggle back and forth. And then there you go. Now you have it directly straight. So that way all you got to do at that point is snip off. All you got to do at that point, just snip it off, and you're perfectly lined up. And watch, I'm even going to release pressure. And the only one that moves back is the blue pair, which is simple enough to just push back in place. So that's how you can get that, which here, I'll grab a jack right quick. Okay. Apparently I don't know where my jacks are at the moment. Oh well. The second thing that I wanted to show was that the second video that I saw that he was making. He was making a bunch of male to male and female to female adapters. So this is a little bit shorter one. So essentially he took some keystones, tapped them together and made a chain going across. And asked, will you ever do that inside the field? Yes and no. Will it ever be inside the final install? No. It cannot be, because that's considered just really bad practice, especially if it's because what you're doing is you're creating multiple different breaks inside of it. So if we look down here to the switch and router that I have set up, let's assume that I have multiples of these that are hooked up to each other. Each time that I connect a male to male and a female to female, here, do it this way. I'm just going to shunt these in there, but we're going to assume that they're connected for the diagram's sake. And we're going to plug that into the router. So for this, each time that's from, from here to here, no matter what the distance is, as long as it's under the 300 feet, that means you're creating an extra breakpoint inside of your line that's going to have to be troubleshot if that line goes bad. Now the thing is that this is not industry practice. I'll say it's not supposed to be anyways. You will run into it because people like to shortcut things inside this industry. But what they'll do is they'll say, but what you'll have to do then is that you'll have to wonder, you'll end up wondering, is there some other break inside the line? Most of the time you'll just go, how will you find it if it happens? Most of the time you won't. If it breaks, if it's put in like that, then you're probably just going to end up seeing that it's a dead run inside the first place, and then you're just going to try, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to run a brand new one completely, because that's what the customer will want you to do. So that's now where it is beneficial, because they are actually beneficial. A female to female is really nice, and male to male adapters, like little shorter ones, are real, like basically patch cables, are a little bit longer. Like if I remember correctly, I think this one's about 15 feet. They're useful for troubleshooting. So let's say that I've got a patch panel running between these two different devices here. So I'm going to cut this. So I'm going to set this right here. We're going to pretend that this is my patch panel going onto either end. What this lets you do is it lets you test for bad switches and all that. This is the whole reason why you have a patch panel in the first place, is you're going to connect one to one side, and then potentially ports do go bad. Like with this one, this is an Aruba, what is this, 2620? Yeah, this is a 2620. These have been defunct now for probably, I don't know, probably a good 10 years at this point. I started replacing, maybe not 10 years. I started replacing these back in 2019, I think. No, it was 2021. So 2021 is when I was replacing these for the Arubas that are for the Aruba 2930s, which are now being swapped out for other things. Since those are close to end of life. Let's see. So what you'll do, though, is that you need to have extra ones of these sitting around and have some long length ones too. I mean, I keep an extra 100-footer inside of my bag, inside of my car, specifically in case I run into something where, let's say I think a run is bad and it's just going from one room to the next room over, then I can bypass that entire room with that cable and just test out the gate and see if it's right or not. I don't have to go through and run I don't have to do 6 different troubleshooting steps, like, put my connector into it, to check for continuity, and then walk back over, check it on a different port, so then like maybe the continuity looks good, but I think the port might be bad, so I swap it to a new port. If there's a VLAN going on, then they have to open up a new port for everything, and that all takes time. Where your job is to try to reduce as many of those as possible. You're trying to reduce as many steps to solving a problem as possible. So having a 100-footer of this just sitting around, a 100-footer male-to-male adapter just sitting around, or male-to-male cable just sitting around, lets you take that and just plug into the switch, walk over to the other room, plug into the router. Does it work? If it does work, then okay, there's your problem. The cable was the issue. Now the question is that do you have to repunch it at the patch panel? Or maybe they did something dumb where they have a male-to-male just hopping over the wall through the drop-down ceiling. That's also something that happens quite a bit. You could have it to where those have to be swapped. So you could check it. You could check and replace the heads on it. You could try different things if you want to, but at the end of the day, off of a single step that run is bad, even though it could test correct. What causes that to happen? That's going to be a question that's probably for the engineers. The way I put it, I'm a dumbass with a drill. I know I've done a lot of this. I've seen a lot of the back end, and I just have and I've just gone through it so many different times that I can tell when something's bad or not. If I have my guess, what's going on is that it's not hitting a high enough voltage on one of the connectors for the NIC on the other, for one of the NICs to be able to read it. Was it NICs as in, was it your network interface cards? It's that, if I have my guess, that's the entire issue. It could also just be that there's a loose jack. You know, you take, if you unplug and replug something so many times, yeah, it may be rated for 1,000. Yeah, it may be rated for 1,000 pulls if somebody does this and not something where they're grabbing their knife because they're trying to reach into a side thing. They're kind of prying it in there. Was it just jacking up, just pulling it up, and then finally get it out that way? Was it that could loosen up your connections back under here? People also do it with screwdrivers. Was it your jack? All this is a piece of plastic. It's a piece of 20-cent plastic from China. Was it they're gonna do everything they can to try to, probably not even 20 cents. They probably make these for 5 cents a pop. So that's how much you're going to. That's how much how many different things could go wrong. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to take all of those and figure out the shortest steps needed to figure out what the issue is.